Joining me now for more on the U.S. relationship with Pakistan is Bilawal Bhutto Zardari. He is the chair of the Pakistan People's Party, the PPP. He is also the son of former Pakistani Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto and of President Asif Ali Zardari. Thank you very much, Bilawal. It's good to see you here. First of all, what really crossed my mind in seeing what has happened to Dr. Afridi is your mother, whom I knew and who was widely respected here in the United States. I recall her speech to a joint session of Congress. Your mother was killed by Al-Qaeda, according to the UN Commission report. How do you feel when someone who helped track down Osama bin Laden is put in jail for 33 years?
Unfortunately, Andrea, that anyone collaborating with foreign intelligence, even of a friendly country, anywhere in the world, that's a crime. Look at the case of Jonathan Pollard here in the United States, where a U.S. court convicted him for life imprisonment for spying for Israel.
At the same time, Pakistan has suffered egregiously from these terror bombings, these killings. As Hillary Clinton says very often, Pakistan has suffered from terrorism as much as the United States has suffered. So why wouldn't you view this man's work something that's honorable? And why wouldn't Pakistan explain who are the people who helped cover up for bin Laden being there for so many years, hiding in plain sight?
Well, we have an independent judiciary. Actually, the democratic government of Pakistan restored an independent judiciary for the first time in our history. And it's up to them to, whether I wanted him out or not is irrelevant. I can't put pressure on the judiciary to decide either way. As far as to the explanation as to why Osama bin Laden was in Pakistan, we formed a commission on that, and I have full faith that they will come to the truth of the matter and will find the people responsible if, in fact, they are in Pakistan.
Do you believe that it was possible for him to be hiding in a military community without some complicity from Pakistani officials, whether in the intelligence community, in the military, or somewhere in the government?
Well, the United States found a treasure trove of evidence in the Abbottabad compound, none of which point to any link between Osama bin Laden, the Pakistani government, the Pakistani army, or the Pakistani intelligence agencies.
Now, the other big issue, which has caused quite a division between the U.S. and Pakistan, your father, the president, was asked to come to the NATO meetings. At the same time, it was expected that there would be an agreement there on reopening the supply lines to and from Afghanistan, critical military supply lines. Well, once he got there, he did not get a one-on-one meeting with the president because that agreement did not materialize. And there's a lot of concern that the demands from Pakistan for payments really amount to extortion for these trucks going in and out.
Well, my father received an unconditional invitation to the NATO summit, and he attended. The relationship between Pakistan and the United States has deteriorated over the last year. We've weathered a series of crises, from the Raymond Davis fiasco, where a CIA agent shot and killed 2 Pakistani innocent civilians in the back in the streets of Lahore, to the Abbottabad incident, to this raid by NATO that killed 24 innocent Pakistani soldiers and did not result in an apology. However, both countries are working together, and I'm hopeful that they will resolve their differences, because we have a common goal and we can only achieve it together.
Does there have to be a formal apology for that raid, which the U.S. decided that there was a fault on both sides? There has not been a formal apology. We know for 5 or 6 months this has been debated and negotiated even within the U.S. government. Does there have to be a formal apology before those routes will be reopened, do you believe, at what we would consider normal rates?
I think that an immediate apology was the humane, appropriate thing to do. I'd like the American public to consider what their reaction would have been had 24 American soldiers been killed in such a way on the border with Mexico. I think an apology would have been appropriate.
Is it too late now?
It's never too late for an apology, Andrea.
Can you understand why the U.S. government would be angry, though, with these supply lines so important to both our war in Afghanistan and our ability, frankly, to get our supplies out of Afghanistan? How angry the U.S. would be, after all of the aid to Pakistan over the years, to have this demand from your country for us to pay so much?
We don't measure our soldiers' blood in aid. I understand why America is angry, and therefore I would urge them to please apologize for the loss of lives their action caused on the border with Pakistan.
There was another drone attack today.
Yes, there was, and the continuous carpet bombing of Pakistan by drones is not only counterproductive in the war on terror, it's also an egregious violation of our sovereignty and must end. It's a violation of the U.S. War Powers Act as well as international law. And America was supposed to be that city on a hill setting an example to the world, and I do hope it returns to that status soon.
Do you acknowledge that the drone have helped really battle al-Qaeda in a way that, frankly, Pakistan's government was not able to? You never had control over those territories.
I actually completely disagree. The drone attacks have not caught any big boys. They've been counterproductive with the amount of civilian casualties that they've had. And you can ask your own military, they admit, barring Osama bin Laden, Pakistan, when provided actionable intelligence, has caught, captured or killed more al-Qaeda operatives than any other nation on earth.
Well, it is very, very nice to meet you, and again, we thought highly of your mother, and of course there's a lot of respect for what you've been trying to do in Pakistan on human rights, so thank you for being with us today.
Thank you very much, Andrew.
And